What y'all looking at? What is you looking at? Bro, I'm not playing with y'all. Stop looking at me like that. Stop. Like how you looking at me? I was just playing, bro. What's going on, man? It's your boy VeLL. We back with another Arena of Valor video. And this is actually a reaction to the homie Rumbly superset. So go ahead and check out his channel down below. Watch his video. Subscribe to him. He does Arena of Valor content too. And I know you all want Mobile Legends content. I'm going to be doing more Mobile Legends content soon. But now this is about Arena of Valor. So he actually made top 5 underpowered heroes in Arena of Valor. So I actually want to see what his opinions are on the heroes because he plays the game a lot more than me. Like he's really in tune with what's going on. Like I play the game, I play a select few heroes. I know who's the most overpowered heroes, and those are the heroes I kind of lean towards when I'm choosing heroes. So let's see some of the heroes he feel are underpowered and underappreciated in the game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Without further ado, who hit me up? Anyway, let's get into the video. That's so unprofessional. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's get it. Like, comment, subscribe. I got you.
Hey guys, Rumbly Superset here.
I got you,
again
fam.
Another episode of Top 5. Unlike last time where we looked at some of the top heroes to rank with, this time we're looking at the other side of the spectrum, the top 5 underpowered heroes. Keep in mind, just like any top 5 episode, this is not a definitive list, but rather a consensus of opinions collected, as well as my own. It can vary after each update. Regardless, here are the top 5 heroes I feel lack the power to stand toe-to-toe with the rest. Number 5, Xanis. This guy, he's not too bad.
I'm not surprised that Xanis is on this list. Honestly, I was actually excuse me. Oh my god, I need some water. I don't know what's going on right now. Let me chill. I just got through playing a bunch of Fortnite. So yeah, I'm a little, my voice is a little tired. I've been screaming, killing my own teammates, all type of crazy stuff. But anyway, yeah, Xanis, I'm not surprised he's on this list. I was actually trying to think of the top 5 worst heroes in the game. It was kind of hard to come up with that list, but he did come to mind. Like he came to mind for a few reasons. Let me see if Rumbly touches on his weaknesses.
Bad. I really want to take him off this list as he seems fun and his abilities appear decent, but unfortunately, unless you get fed early in the game, any other jungler will outperform him both in speed and damage, amongst all other things. Xanis as a hero is built around the...
Yeah, they have too many better assassins. They have too many better people who can actually do his role. And that's what that's what I'm always talking about when I talk about how certain heroes are just bad. Like you can argue that no hero in any game is bad. Yeah, that's cool. But there are if it's like if every other hero is just better than this hero in the category, he's the worst. He's the worst hero. So there's always a worst hero if everyone else is better than that said hero. So yeah, I definitely agree with this one.
Concept of speed. Both his first and second ability have elements that increase his speed, whether movement or attack. The reason he falls off is simply a large amount of other junglers can move just as fast and far more often while able to scale walls, unlike Xanis. Heroes like Kilgroth and Necroth even outperform his second ability in attack speed. Even with Xanis' ultimate that causes him to take 20% less damage for 5 seconds, heroes like Zephys have far better damage reduction that lasts, well, forever. Xanis is not a bad hero by far, and you can make him work, but if you want to win, your chances are far greater with another jungler.
Yep, that's true, that's facts.
Number 4.
The only thing that I'd like to add is that if you're going to play the game, definitely try to use the overpowered heroes because you don't want to put yourself at a disadvantage. I mean, unless you're like a super good player and you're cocky and stuff and you just want to prove that you're better than people, then yeah, it's cool to use some of the worst heroes and see if you can perform better than some of the best. But if you just want some easy wins, just go ahead with the meta. Don't try to go against the grain. Just go with it. Find somebody that's overpowered, learn how to use them, and just destroy it with them. So yeah,
Pura. Pura, well, he's okay. This guy actually has a good amount of crowd control, providing knockups with his first ability Bull Rush, slows with his second, and does even both with his ultimate.
I've never played this hero. I don't even think I've ever seen this hero in game. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about this hero. So let me hear about this hero because Rumbly knows what he's talking about. He's very knowledgeable about this game. Make sure you go subscribe him down below.
He just doesn't seem to perform reliably. If I had to sit back and really analyze his ability kit, I can honestly only say his first ability is reliable.
I didn't recognize that skin. I know who this guy is. Now that I look at him, that's a new skin. I know who he is. I just have never seen him with that skin before. So yeah, that's what threw me off.
It's straightforward and right to the point. You use it, you knock them up in a fairly quick manner. Everything else he does, well, is slow to take effect. His second ability has a short delay, and with a relatively low range, many people will inevitably get away unless you use your bull rush first. Let's not get into the insignificant self-barrier it provides as well. His ultimate takes the longest to finish by far. Split into 3 different phases, he leaps at a target location, slams and slows, slams again for a stronger slow, and slams for a final time for a knockup. I feel as though this sequence is backwards. If a knockup was first, then proceeded with 2 incrementally less effective slows, it would be far more effective.
Yeah, so he made some very strong points there. Like I said, I know nothing about this hero, but based on what he's explaining about this guy's kit, there's so many other heroes that can play this role better than him. Like there's so many more powerful heroes, better selections. Yeah, it's not a shocker that he's putting this guy on the list. Like, and that's what I'm telling you. When it comes down to being the underpowered and the not so good heroes, it's usually they're not bad heroes. They're usually really strong heroes, but every other hero in the class is usually above them. So, yeah.
The reason I say this is because it has an insanely short range in which if an enemy is even remotely attempting to escape, you may land the first slam, but you're lucky to get the second, not to mention the stun. This makes the ability extremely specific when you should use it, leaving it a bit less resourceful for your allies, unlike other equally tanky heroes.
Yep.
Number 3 is Pura. So this one is
Now, I have never seen this hero in the game. Like, I've never played against him, nothing. Like, I think the first time I ever played Arena of Valor was with Rumbly. Like, when I played with Rumbly, that's the only time that I ever saw this character used. And I think Rumbly was using him at that time, too. But yeah, this is a hero that I just never see. So I always assumed that this wasn't a very good hero, but yeah, I'm not as knowledgeable as to know I can confirm or deny that, yeah, this guy is just trash. So, I don't know. Let's see what he has to say about this hero.
extremely unfortunate as there aren't many legitimate healers in the game. Pyrrha being one of these, we can only hope her heals will be what a team needs to come out on top of a crazy team fight. I would suggest looking elsewhere. Pyrrha indeed does have a decent AoE heal that also gives a nice attack speed boost to affected allies, but with a moderately low range along with the nature of players never sitting still can make it quite difficult to fully utilize the heal.
Yeah, he makes a good point. The player's never sitting still. If you got low range and you like it limits you a lot because if you think about all the best heroes and the heroes that's currently in the meta right now, they're all fast moving, invisible heroes that just bounce around, jump around, and move around a lot. Like you have Zuka. Zuka is the best, one of the best in the game. Murad. You have Batman, Wukong. None of these heroes stay still, and these are the top heroes in the game right now. So yeah, if you're a healer, it's kind of hard to catch up with them and kind of hard to support them and increase their attack if they're always just all over the place. So yeah, I can see how that would be hard to kind of get value from this hero. Maybe increasing the range to where maybe Telianis's range. Like if maybe if with that type of increase, then it could be a valuable hero. But yeah, that's just some of my thoughts. Some of my initial thoughts.
Her second ability can be quite a nuisance as well as it bounces from one enemy to the next a crap ton of times. This can be great in team fights, but with the low stun time and long cooldown, its usefulness on a single target with nothing to bounce from leaves this ability fairly lackluster. Her ultimate might be her
kind of like
one
Bruno's
saving
ultimate.
grace. Well, sort of. With the ample amount of armor it provides for all her allies in the area and enemy movement speed reduction, along with its AoE stun, this sounds like a pretty solid ability, right? Not really. With the amount of stuns a normal team composition has, and the fact that she must remain stationary while casting, she either almost always gets stunned out of it, or simply dies as she's a sitting duck. Number 2 is Mina. With the current game and its tank meta, you would think you would see more of this hero. It's very
Isn't this Ruby? Isn't this Ruby in Mobile Legends? I think Mina's Ruby. Not sure. But the last hero, I was going to say something about the last hero. He was going over. Oh yeah, the stun thing. He said they had a lot of stuns and stuff, and that made her kind of useless. And that's a very strong point. Like I said, if there's other people who can stun better than you, and one of your strengths is stunning, like Gilder. Gilder, literally every single thing he does is stun. Everything is a stun. So why wouldn't you just use Gilder? So yeah. And as you saw, they had Gilder in that gameplay that Rumbly was just showing too. They had Gilder in there as well.
common to see 2 or even sometimes 3 tanks in a single team, but unfortunately, Mina is hardly ever seen amongst those picked. Before we get into the bad, I do want to say she does have some redeeming features. Being one of the few heroes with abilities having max health ratio,
that's like
along
Ruby.
with her passive, she can output some decent damage even with full tank items. Her abilities also have a fairly good amount of crowd control, varying from pulls to AoE taunts. There just seems to be heroes that do it better. While her second ability does in fact pull more than one hero, the range is relatively short when compared to heroes like Grak. This means Mina will always need to be in very close range to enemies to land the ability, if she can. Given she's indeed a tank, this may not sound all that concerning, but having short range certainly...
I didn't know she was a tank. I thought she was a fighter. And hearing that, if she's a tank, I don't know if I would pick that tank over a bunch of the other tanks in the game. So yeah, I can see how she would be one of the lower end tanks, because you see people like that dude who can turn into that fish guy from the Avatar, like the seaweed guy. I don't know what that guy's called. But yeah, that guy can transform, and he put bubbles on his teammates and protects them. I keep forgetting that guy's name. You got a few tanks that's just out here killing. The big dude who just splashes the water and slows you. It's a lot of deadly tanks out here and very valuable tanks. So yeah, if she's a tank, I definitely would not pick her over like 99% of the other tanks that's there. So it's like, I don't think I would pick her over anybody. But yeah.
It makes it far less versatile than that of Grak's. Her ultimate also doesn't fare too well when compared to other similar abilities such as Gilder's. While both do it 3...
I'd say, honestly, taking that back, I'd say I'd probably choose her over Grak, maybe. And the reason for that is because it takes skill to hook. Like, heroes like Franco and Grak and heroes like that, you can't really, you really have to be able to hook. If you don't hook, you can be completely useless. I feel like this is more noob friendly, like you're more valuable at all times. But when you're a hero who has to depend on landing a hook, you're kind of less useful, especially in this current meta when people are just jumping around invisible, doing a bunch of crazy stuff at all times. It's kind of hard to be valuable in this setting when you have to hook somebody. It's like trying to hook a bunch of people moving at high speed and who's invisible. It's not a very good thing. At least she can spin in a circle, slow people, pull people in. I think that's a little bit better for this meta, but it's still not who I would go with when choosing the tank.
60 AoE crowd control effect, Gilder's completely stuns enemies caught in it for upwards of 4 to 5 seconds, whereas Mina's ultimate forces enemies to attack her, which, keep in mind, still do damage to her, and lasting a measly 2 seconds. And number 1 is Omega. While this hero may have some decent crowd control, having 2 abilities with stuns, as well as some decent mobility to chase down his targets, it stops right about there. The barrier his first ability provides is essentially the same as Alice's, but worse. Being a tank, the barrier he receives is so small, it's sometimes hard to see it on your health bar. Unlike Alice's barrier, which she can apply to all her nearby teammates, while also providing everyone movement speed, Omega is pretty selfish as he only applies it to himself. To top it off...
Yeah, and this is, Omega is another hero. I don't have much to say about him. He's another hero that I have never played. The only time I've seen him played is, again, when I was playing with Rumbly. So, yeah, I kind of don't know as much about him. But, yeah, based on what he says, it makes a lot of sense. Like, there's just a lot of heroes better. Like, that's really what it's going to constantly come down to. There's heroes that can do that job, that particular task, better than he can. And then they're less selfish with their teammates. They're actually team-based heroes, which is very important as well. So, it's a team game. MOBAs are team games. So if you have a hero that does the same thing as another hero, but they also provide in some way, shape, or form for the entire team, that's obviously a better pick. So
Off, the stun it provides has such an awkward delay that most of the time an enemy can simply walk out of range, making the ability far less reliable. His ultimate also leaves a lot to be desired. While the ability can do a moderate amount of damage over time, it is essentially the same as Omar's, except worse. They both spin doing damage, while Omar also inflicts crowd control, petrifying enemies being hit. Omega, well, he just keeps spinning. And that will wrap up the top 5 underpowered heroes. To be clear, just because I feel that these particular heroes lack the same power as their counterparts, it doesn't mean you can't make it work. This will hopefully just help you discover some of the areas in which these heroes may lack. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Top 5. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Later!
Dope. That was a really good video, man. That was a really good video. And yeah, like he says, you can definitely make it work, especially if you're a skilled player. You can pretty much make anything work. But like I said, if you want to get easy wins and stuff like that, you're just trying to move up the ranks, definitely go with the flow. You choose somebody overpowered and learn how to use them, man. Zuka, Wukong, Batman, Joker was just released, and I want to actually try him out very soon. Well, I've played him, but I want to try him out on the... I'm not even going to get him for this server right now, to be completely honest with you, because the game is going to be coming out for my country. So I'm not going to be buying him multiple times. Like, that would be 3 times that I done bought this guy. So yeah, that's not happening. I definitely want to get Joker, but that's sidetracked anyway. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and check it out on Rumbly's channel. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and everything. Show him some love. Drop a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace out.